What's poppin', man? It's your boy Prince Angeles. Welcome y'all back to another episode of Off Prairie. I got another special guest, man. We're gonna talk about some things that's been going on this week. Happy holidays to everyone out there. Hope you enjoyed, your Thanksgiving and things like that with your family, friends, however you spent it. You feel me? But yeah, man. We got Antonio Crowe in the building today. For those who don't know, he used to be a manager. He's worked, in the music business and in the acting, film business as well. Doing his thing, bouncing around. He's got a very, very interesting, cool story. You know what I mean? That I wanted to highlight for those who don't know. You know, there's a lot of people who left their imprints, in this business musically behind the scenes in the city. You know what I mean? On the West Coast, however you want to call it that, um, that you never really hear about, that you never really see, you know what I mean? And these people play vital roles, you know, for people's careers, coming up and things like that. So yeah, man, we're gonna highlight that. We're gonna get into it. You feel me? But make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Tell a friend to tell a friend, share that good thing, so I can get that algorithm love. You feel me? But yeah, man, whew, it's been a lot going on, man. You got Drake suing UMG and saying they helped Kendrick get that big W. That W, no help, no help needed. We all know Kendrick smacked him around, and it just kind of is what it is. You feel me? That happens in life. Sometimes, life will smack you around and it'll humble you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to get humbled. You feel me? But yeah, so Drake, I guess, sent a petition to UMG, I guess, for information. And based on that information is where a potential lawsuit will take place. Um, I guess they're saying that, they made the song bigger. He started exposing things like payola, which is illegal. Um, Other things like they offered, a 30% lower rate on the song, um, which is supposed to be illegal as well. I don't know, man. I feel like Drake crashing out because it's pretty much a wrap and it's over. Let's just keep it 100. You feel me? Um, but yeah, man, we're gonna wait for the guests to come up in here. You know, we're gonna get rocking. What else been going on, man? It seemed like it's just all been Drake and Kendrick, Drake and Kendrick, Kendrick, Drake, Kendrick, Drake. I'm a little exhausted with that. You feel me? Even though, man, people trying to act like Drake is some freedom fighter now. He's fighting on behalf of all artists when we know damn well this would have never happened. You know what I mean? With bro, if he didn't lose that battle. But yeah, man, let's welcome the guest. What up, my guy? Let me. Um, how's it going?
I was going pretty good. How about with yourself?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm a little tired. Holidays got me a little burnt, but you know how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let everybody know, those who don't know who you are, where you come from, what it is that you do, um, all that. You feel me? We're gonna get right
Yeah.
into it.
All right, cool. Yeah, my name is Tori. I go by Antonio Crowe. Uh, and I'm here to talk about basically my history in the music business. And also, I went to Sarah High School, and that has a lot to do with my history in the music business. So yeah,
Sarah.
this is about to drop some jewels today.
That's what's up, bro. Sarah, did you play sports at Sarah?
Yeah, I play football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played football. I was there in the dark ages. So yeah, it was a good time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what's up. What number?
I was
Position?
on junior on JV. I was 55, and I was retired on varsity. So I
Oh,
was
that's what's
60.
up.
Yeah, I was 63 on varsity. My 12th grade year. My 11th
Yeah.
grade year, they won the championship. I was on the team, but I went to band camp. Funny story.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah. I went to Jane Fonda's band camp, and I was there with Etta James' son, Sameto, and Taina Smith, who was Jimmy Smith's daughter. So we was hanging out. So I was having some good fun, but I kind of missed that. I didn't get back on the squad because you had to run like 5 miles every time you missed practice. So
Yeah.
my little band camp situation, that would have been like 30 miles or something like that. I ain't trying to run that at that time. At that time, especially. But no, that those are my guys. Those are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Class of 89, class of 90, class of 91. You know what I mean? So I'm an old
That's
head.
what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up. And so what you grew up in like Gardena, Carson area, kind of like how was that?
Say that again.
So you grew up in like what the Gardena area,
Oh, I grew up in
Carson or
Compton, man. Oh, no,
oh
not at all,
Compton?
man. I'm from Compton. Yeah,
Oh,
Wilmington,
that's what's
Alondra,
up.
right by the airport. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's
So,
up.
yeah, I'm from Compton. For real, I was born in Compton. So,
How was
um,
that how was that growing going for you? Like kind of like having to make that travel from
oh,
you know
well, okay. So, okay, that's funny because I lived in two neighborhoods throughout the 80s, right? So I used to live by Luders Park off Rosecrans and K Street. So
Woo.
that's the RTD, the Long
Yeah.
Beach Boulevard and Rosecrans. Like you know how they got that brand Rosecrans right now. Like I
Yep.
really resonate with that because I was on that Rosecrans bus.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really fly. You know what I mean? So and then I and then we have another house on off of Wilmington and Alondra. You know what I'm saying? So that was wild, you know what I'm saying? So, the Gardena bus ran down the Alondra, so I was able to get on the Gardena
Yeah.
bus. So what I'll say is on the Rosecrans bus, you got everybody that grew up in that area, which is the blood area.
Right.
On my neighborhood, it's the Crip area. So you know what I mean. Going through Gardena, you're gonna go through that side, and I mean, it was what it was, man. You survived it in the '80s. Like that's the way I
Yeah.
see it. '80s and '90s, you survived. I'm glad to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be here to be having this conversation.
Yeah.
I will say this though, because you asked, like, there's a lot of good people in Compton. You know what I mean? It wasn't really about there was some hardworking parents. Like I had hardworking parents. Most of my neighbors had hardworking parents, no matter what activities we was in.
Yeah.
We came from good stock. You know what I mean? And so, and I say that too because there was a crack epidemic. You know what I mean? There was a drug epidemic as well. But
Right.
people was basically surviving the best they could.
Yeah.
So yeah, but going through those areas, but I went to junior high school in Long Beach, so that was a whole other situation too. So yeah, most of everyone that went to that junior high school went to Long Beach Poly and Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah,
I asked that because like people who not from LA or has like the whole LA experience,
right,
or don't even really know about it. You know what I mean? Like it was really a thing just to go to school. Sometimes you got to
yeah,
get on the bus and you got to pass through all these different hoods and like all these different, situations on the bus as you on the way to school or things like that. Or if you walking,
yeah.
whatever the situation is, like I used to walk, to Hawthorne. I went to Hawthorne or whatever. I used to
Okay,
walk and like we used to have to pass by, certain hoods that didn't like black people, things
right,
like that. Like so we used to
right,
have to like kind of stick together and things like that. But
yeah,
it's a very interesting, experience, for those who like have to go through it And like for those who don't really understand it, you know what I mean? Because they judge us from the outside looking in. You feel me? So I
Yeah.
thought it was something important to highlight. You know what I mean?
Well,
As a
well,
kid, like some of the challenges you have to like face
yeah,
just to get to school.
yeah,
You know what I mean? School is one
yeah.
whole thing, but like just to get to school. You know what I'm saying?
And so let me just get a quick response to that. Going to school, walking in your neighborhood is one thing.
Right.
Standing on the bus stop is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Then when you
Yep.
get on the bus, when you get on the bus, then you got a whole nother thing. Then
Yep.
when you get off the bus to walk to school, it's a whole nother thing.
A whole
So
nother thing.
it's survival
Yeah.
of the fittest. And I could break down like where you probably, be like, oh, this hood right here was they, what I'm saying, they was right there on the bus, or somebody from another
Yep.
hood was on the bus asking me where I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like that in the 80s in every sense of the way. And I'm talking about, and I just want to give you a vicinity, Rosecrans and Long Beach Boulevard, right?
Right.
All right,
Right.
that's one era of my life. The second era of my life is Wilmington and Alondra.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So Wilmington and Alondra. So yeah, I mean that's the hub city is the middle of, and those areas are like the middle of Compton.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you got Long Beach Boulevard to the 710 freeway, right?
Right.
And so then you got Wilmington from the 710, let's say Wilmington to Avalon, or you can
Right.
go Wilmington to the 710 freeway. So I'm in the middle of everything.
Everything. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so like I've seen it like, on Batarangs. I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? I've
Wow.
been sitting on curbs and you know what I'm saying? Like I've been
Yep.
sweated by the undercover cops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And undercover Starsky and Hutch types. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah.
They got the dash of they got the light in the dash, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
yeah, it was real, like, But at
That's
that
what's
time,
up.
Compton had their own police department, and so that was another dynamic too. Compton PD, yeah, that
Oh
was crazy.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to hear stories about Compton PD.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me? But let me ask you this, bro. I know that you got into the music scene.
Right.
What made you want to get into the, what it is that you got into? I don't want to say too much. I want you to kind of like, let the people know yourself, so I won't give it away.
All
But
right,
what what got you why music?
man. All right. So I feel like music has always been an outlet for me.
Okay.
It's been an escape. And so growing up as a youngster, I lived in a violent environment. And so
Okay.
I had a lot of troubles in school. I used to fight in school, in elementary school, was on day suspension a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, I was found out in the fourth grade, like I didn't know my timetables. I was failing every class because I was fighting, and I didn't have counseling. They basically sat me in the corner and was like, "You figure it out, but you need
Yeah.
to stop being violent." So one day, my brother, my mom, and his now wife, they showed up to the school to basically rescue me from being in trouble. You feel me? And
Yeah.
so music was always, always something that I could escape from my troubles. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, because there was things that I couldn't do in order to help my mom physically because I was so
Yeah.
strong. So I was like, just reaching. So music was that help for me. You know what I'm saying? And so like I started playing the drums. I was attending
Mm.
church. I started playing the drums, and high school was my high school. Like I say, Sarah High School, but that place in the '80s was like Crush Groove,
Okay.
and I mean like Crush Groove from New York, the movie. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the history of Sarah, which a lot of people don't know, is that one of the original NWA members, Arabian Prince, with the Sarah. Okay,
Word. I never knew that.
right. And so
Ah.
Montel
That's
Jordan, went to Sarah. See, a lot of
Okay.
people don't know that, right? And so having that, having those, I could say, members at the
Yeah.
school kind of like motivated a lot of music, even though we didn't have a music program.
Mm.
Specifically, Rhythm D that produced real motherfucking G's, real Compton City
Yeah.
G's. For
Yeah.
Easy, he went to Sarah High School. So
Really?
right, and so I was there when he was there, and so we had DJs, we had the dances. Everybody knows Sarah for the dances, right? Those was like clubs, right? That was like a club
Right.
pop. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to clarify this. Also, Corrupt went to Sarah High School. And
Really?
so, right. And this is
That's
what I
what's
mean
up.
by, and this is what I mean by crush group. So we used to have
Yeah.
ciphers, right? And I'm sure
Okay.
they had them in many high schools, you know what I'm saying? But I only went to Sarah, so I don't know about other high school environments. But but it was all dudes, you know what I'm saying? And so we would have ciphers. And these ciphers
Right.
would be like the homie Jed, homie Sean, and Corrupt showed up with a Nike Fila uh feathered buffle with some high top feelers on, and he was flooding. You feel me?
uh.
But he from Philly, you know what I'm saying? And he rapped like he
Yeah.
was Philly. He was in Philly. So that was a whole nother element to us because we had some rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like we had some rappers, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and that was like a time and space, a capsule of space that was like, wow, like I like this. I like that cipher environment. Like I could see it on the movies, but I got to see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so also Alonzo Williams is like my uncle, right? And so
Okay.
hearing about the LA Dream Team, the World Class Wrecking Crew, that kind of stuff was always events was happening in my family, so
Yeah.
that was it. But when I became 18, I ended up meeting Mike Karen. So
Okay.
Mike Karen, who works at Atlantic Records, and
Okay.
so my buddy Dewan, we used to go to VIP a lot, right? And so there was this flyer, like I don't know if you remember this, but it used to be I won't call it a symposium.
You
And
mean you mean VIP records like up in Long Beach?
yep. Well,
Oh,
well,
that's
that's
what's
the
up.
original one. That's the original
Yeah.
one, right? Okay, but we had like two in Compton,
Got you. Okay.
right? So we had one downtown Compton off of Willowbrook and Compton Boulevard, and then there
Hmm.
was another one off Rosecrans and Central. I met Usher over there at that one. He was 16.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, he was a baby. He was in the back seat. He didn't want to get out the car. I remember that. So, but
He,
salute to Usher though. So yeah, so Mike Karen had been working with uh because I got so many friends with that name, Jerry Heller, son, right? Terry Heller.
okay.
I was about to say that homie Terry, but yeah. So Terry Heller and Mike Karen are good friends, and that's Jerry Heller's son, right?
Got
So
you.
while Mike Karen was in high school, he was doing like a radio station at the high school he went to. I believe it was Beverly Hills High.
Hmm.
I mean, this dude was crazy. I mean, he had a Wu-Tang plaque. He was in high school, right? He was doing marketing and promotions, and he also had the Far Side perform at the after prom, right?
Oh, that's
So,
fire.
so yeah, so Mike Karen was like a buddy to me. I was also his employee because he became national rap manager as a senior in high school, right? And
Really.
so when I reached out to him, me and my homeboy Nakia, rest in peace, he drove me down there because I used to have a Regal, and sometimes I wouldn't get on that freeway. You feel me with that Regal?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I would, but I didn't feel like taking the street all the way to Sunset. It was on 9229 Sunset Boulevard. So I didn't
Oh,
feel like taking the street all the way. So I'm like, he had a Corolla. I'm like, homie, can you take me? So we roll up there, we push up there. So I had an interview with Mike Karen. He's like, oh, that's cool, what you know about the music. I told him basically what I just told you. Basically,
yeah.
the world class record crew, Alonzo. He's like, wow. I was like, yeah. So when can you start? So basically, at the time, Junior Mafia was bubbling. We had the single Junior Mafia. We had Changing Faces, uh,
Mm.
Quad City DJs. So I didn't know anything about marketing and promotion, right? I didn't know anything about that. But as a result of working with Mike Karen, I did media and retail. And so
Okay.
basically I was tracking the sales, first week sales, continuous sales, calling all the record stores. Um, Stone's Throw. I used to talk to
Man, let me stop you there. Man, that those days,
yeah,
you talking about like SoundScan and
yep,
like
BDS.
oh my gosh,
Yep.
those was the days.
Yeah,
You
man.
feel me? Now everything is all like digital, automated, you know what
Right,
I mean? But like
right,
back then people had to really like those were jobs.
right,
You,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
real jobs to track numbers and all of those different things. But um you can keep it going. My bad. I don't mean to
No,
stop
no,
you.
you good. You good. And so like Big Beat Atlantic signed Ray Love. And so Ray
Okay.
Love is from the Bay. And I got to meet the guy from Club Nouveau. Um,
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now, but Club Nouveau, he had Young Black Brother Records, right?
Mm.
And so very instrumental in the Bay by like Club Nouveau sampled I Got Five on it. No,
Okay.
the Loonies sampled Club Nouveau, the
Got you.
I Got Five on the record, right? And his name is Jay King. I had to say all that to get his name.
Yeah.
Jay King is a legend, bro. Google Jay King. Jay King is a legend in the music business, especially in the Bay. He's in the Club Nouveau, and
Mm.
so he was like a mentor to me. Jay King. Oh, I forgot. TQ went to Sarah High School also.
TQ.
Yeah, Terrence Quay. So TQ went to Sarah,
Wow.
right? And
A
so that's
lot
what
of
I'm
rich
saying.
history.
Yeah, like and there's more. Like we have producers, the arsonists, we have producers, we got rappers. This kid named One Take J right now, he went to Sarah. So he
Oh,
bubbling in the
that's what's
streets
up.
right now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but 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 that background inspired me. So working with Mike Karen, it was a breeze. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think because I loved it. I loved it. I loved being there. And
Yeah.
so the thing was, he moved to New York. And so he suggested that I go to New York with him, but I couldn't go to New York with him. So, I couldn't because I had, me and my girl at the time, that would have been a strain on my relationship. But I should have went though at the end of the day. I should have went.
In hindsight,
Right, right. You
man.
know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have went. But you never know. So after that, I ended up at Columbia. And
Okay.
so I was on the street team at Columbia. And so Columbia, it was an experience. So I'm in college at the same time. I need to say that. So I'm going to school. I got my girl, and I'm also doing an internship, and I'm on the street team. And so I was really busy as a youngster. You know what I'm saying? I was really busy working these records. And so,
Yeah.
like I was saying, at Atlantic it was marketing and retail, but at Columbia it was on the street team. So what are the records that we had? We had um, the Love Jones soundtrack, Men
Okay.
in Black 1 and 2, um, Mariah Carey, Honey. We had Wyclef
Mm.
Jean. So and it was amazing because Wyclef Wyclef was solo after the Love Jones soundtrack kind of did, right?
Okay.
So it was a whole hype around that. And then here come Prize with a project, right? So Prize is like, I'm not gonna say of the three, you know what I'm saying? He's the least sought after, but he had a hot record. So, that was good for him.
Yeah.
And so we did the So So Def. So everything So So Def was on Columbia, right?
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. That was really interesting because that sound in the '90s was not an LA sound, but it would cross over, every record or so. But I'll
Yeah.
say this though, because I work with Atlantic, I met a guy named Leroy McMahon from Atlanta, Georgia, and he had his independent record company. And
Right.
so he actually signed MC Breed. When MC Breed came out with No Future in Your Front, he was involved in that. And so he also was involved with Sherelle. And so
Mm.
I ended up as an independent street promoter for that Atlantic record company. So I
Okay.
had my own account with him. And then he actually signed the record "The Dip" by Freak Nasty. And
Mm.
so yeah, that's a hot record too. And he had released it, but when they put it in a movie, it became famous. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you know, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. You know, it seemed like the days are short, but I was
Yeah.
so busy. I was so busy during that time. So
So you had a lot. You had a lot of like rich history of like, just being around the business, being in the business involved. Like even before you even jumped in it yourself. You
right,
know what I mean? You had a lot of examples of like that kind of shaped, where you wanted to take it in a
right,
sense. You know what I mean?
right.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, you did do some managing as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
How did you get to that place? You did the street team, you did other little things that like a multitude of things that you were doing, at once. You feel me? Like what made you get to the point of saying, you know what, I want to help like direct an artist, you know, path, like help them get to fulfill their vision, things that they want to do with their career.
That's interesting. So I was in a rap group myself, and
Okay.
we were called the Vigilantes. It was my boy Chris and my boy Don. Shout out,
That's
shout out to them. And
that's a
so,
dope name.
right, Vigilante, right. And
Yeah.
so I was like the not the brains, but as far as how we conducted ourselves, I was supporting that in the midst of doing all this music stuff, right? All this
Right.
external music stuff, right? And so when I was one time at the VIP because I used to go to all the VIPs to take promotional material, right? So people would
Hmm.
see me. I'd be at parties, I'd be everywhere, and people would approach me to manage them. And it
Mm.
happened one time in Long Beach, and you know I was real cool with this cool cat, and he approached me to manage him, and I'm like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, I don't really want to do that. And
Yeah,
so but because for me, if you don't have connects, you shouldn't be managing anybody. Like
I feel that.
if you can't put nobody on the road in a month, then you know what I'm saying. And I know it's all discovery based, but you know, there was some point in time that everybody was doing the same thing. I'm just gonna say
Ah,
it like that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
kind of
so
always like that in different time frames of like of the business in
right,
general. It's
right,
like you got the PR wave. Now everybody a PR.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
It was a time where everybody was managers.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I get exactly what you mean.
So I was trying to stay away from that as much as I could. I have a cold pen. I'm a songwriter, R&B records, hip hop records, and so I have an old friend that worked at CSAC, and so I was writing at my homeboy studio, Judge Beckton, right?
Hmm.
But I also went half on an MP with my homeboy Chris from the Vigilantes.
Okay.
So you know, when people get the producer chops, the homie must have got busy. He couldn't do no sessions with me no more. So I had to go where I could work at. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was working in two spots. Like we had two pre-production spots going on, right?
Right.
And so my boy Judge Beckton, he lived in Carson, so he know everybody from Carson. He used to work the Parks and Bread. He grew up like I used to play the drums in the drill team at Avalon Park. So that was back in the day. So you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people from Carson, right? Growing up myself. So
Yeah.
so while I'm doing my thing, I met this young lady and this young cat, and the young lady was Loriana Johnson, aka
Mm.
and rest in peace, Lori Joe,
Lori.
right?
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
So she was a very artful young lady, very directed. and intentional about her art, right?
Right.
And so much so that they invited me when I first met Lori. She invited me to no, sorry, misquote, her poetry jam.
Mm.
So she hosted a
Okay.
poetry jam at her house, right? And
Right.
so I'm like, this kind of fly. So I took a date. Because I'm like, they doing grown man stuff, right? So I met Lori, and then I met her Ab, right? And so Ab and Lori were at this poetry slam, and they were presenting like it was no different from Def Poetry Jam, my man.
Huh.
Like what they had presented was no different from Def Poetry Jam in Carson, right? And so
Yeah.
I was blown away by both of them. I can't even front because they was really driven about their art. And so
Yeah.
I had penned a song and I asked Lori to sing it. And she's like, when she started recording, that was one of the first songs she had ever recorded. So my buddy Judge Beckton was into doing production and trying to build songs, build bodies of work, if you will,
Yeah.
build these bodies of work and present them because that was the era of shopping people for deals, right?
Right. Right.
And so basically, while I was on CSAC, I took Ab to CSAC, I took Judge to CSAC, and basically that's a publishing rights society, and
Okay.
anybody can't join that, right?
Right.
So
Right.
we was
Right.
doing so much, we had so much work, so many songs we was cooking up, right? And so I was able to submit the songs that I recorded, and I was trying to submit songs to other artists and whatnot. And so one day at the studio, Ab came, and so Ab played me his CD that he had. He had recorded. He said he recorded on a computer mic, and
Okay.
so we went in my car, and it was more than about 10 songs, and I just sat there and I was blown away. I was blown away. But I'm an artist myself, so
Yeah.
I gave him my respect, like he was
Yeah.
in high school still. You feel me? I'm like, this nigga hard. And I told my homeboy Judge, I said, whatever you do, you need to record him.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Record him. And so they had some situation, they assigned a production contract, and we all doing our thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then 6 months into the deal, my homeboy come to me, Judge come to me like, can you help me manage Ab? So knowing that he was as hard as he was, as talented as he was, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Because at this time, I had me a Rolodex of people that I could contact. I could
Yeah.
call Mike Karen. I could call Jay King. I grew up with Razzcast. I could call Razzcast,
Right.
right? But
Right.
Razzcast didn't answer the phone.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What is
Yeah.
it that you seen in Absol early on? Like, what was one thing that you could say that just kind of stood out about his style, about like his approach to music in general? Like, what made you feel like, man, yeah, he don't one.
He can rap his ass off.
Okay.
So I mean, it is hard because as a manager, you're walking around with the in your mind the best of them all, right?
Right.
And it translates. The best of them all translates in audio, right?
Right.
Ab sounds like a lot of people when he raps, if you will. But
Okay.
at the time, Ab had songs that sounded like Will Smith, right? Not
Okay.
the corny Will Smith. Will Smith can rap, right?
Yeah. Well, Will can. Yeah.
Yeah.
People sleep
I
on
mean,
Will bars.
right,
He can
right.
really
So
go.
right, and so Ab could really go. And we talking Jay-Z, Lil Wayne at the time, all of them was hard. People would tell
Yeah.
me, yeah, he cool. He not Jay or Wayne. it's like, but he's Ab. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah,
Like he's Ab, like, and it was refreshing to meet him when I didn't need anything. I'm just listening, right? I'm just
yeah,
listening.
yeah,
I mean, I'm doing my own thing. But he can rap his ass off.
yeah,
And it's the way he rap. It's the ideas that he has, right? You
yeah,
know, he had a medical challenge, right? So
yeah,
he's doing this all the time, right? So his visuals is blurred, but what's in his brain, bro? He that next he
yeah,
I mean, he proved it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He proved it. Like, you know, and it was very valuable to be able to work with him because trying to share his work with others, it was not easy. You feel me?
yeah.
And because everybody, you know, it just depends on. I remember. I'll take this back. When I was at Columbia, this guy named Jan came through, and he was like, "I finally got the Black Eyed Peas sign."
Okay.
Right, and this is like when Kim was in the black girl was in Black Eyed Peas, right? And so I use that example to say the Black Eyed Peas, you know what I'm saying? They didn't move some records, right? This
Facts.
guy came to Columbia and was like, I finally did it. And this is 1997, 98, 99,
Yeah.
right? And look how Will I Am has evolved since then. So when you're a manager and you're trying to get an artist looked at, get his music, his or her music heard, it's a battle, bro. That
Yeah.
many people will never understand unless they try to do it. It's not like,
Especially
go ahead.
especially back then when your reach is limited. You know what I mean? What I mean by like your reach being limited versus like having social media today.
Right,
Like you can reach somebody across the country, in a matter of minutes
right,
versus back then you had to actually have phone numbers or fly to people, or you had to really know somebody that knew somebody that, you know what I mean, that had some
right,
sort of connection to a person that could connect you with it. You know what I mean?
right.
Today, today you could just send that message and hope it get through. And sometimes it get through.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know what I mean? So like yo, the reach is a lot different um today from when it was back then. But let me ask you this. If you could give advice to any of like the up and coming managers, like what is a manager's role? Because I think a lot of people um kind of get it twisted. They either like some artists either expect the manager to do too much, you know what I mean, or the
Right.
manager wants to do too much or too little. What would you say the actual role of a manager is?
Well, first of all, you need a understanding, and that
Okay.
can only be had by a contract. And
Okay.
so what I'm gonna say is very transparent. Absol and I did not have a contract. Absol had a contract with my boy Judge Beckton. I was helping Absol in that realm of those 6 months that we worked together, which
Got
I
you.
put money on the bread. I bought beats from EP, Irvin Pope,
Mhm.
one of the one of the dopest producers in California or the United States. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
He's also the game's stage manager.
Yeah.
Shout out my boy Rashad Coles out of New York. Oh, he's in New York now, but he used to work with the Lynch Mob and
Okay.
more so with DJ Pooh. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I bought beats because at that time, who produced you was just as important as the artist. Who produced you
That's
made you,
important.
right? Almost, right? Because like let's just say getting a beat from Dre was supposed to take you to that next level.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
didn't take everybody to that next level though, right?
Yeah.
So being a manager, um, because I'm an unsuccessful music manager, I just want to put that out there, right?
Okay.
Because if 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 you don't get a deal or all the work that you did does not come to fruition, that's just water under the bridge at the end of the day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
see the
at the
point.
end of the day, right, the manager is the enemy, bro.
Right.
Look at Dame Dash. Look at Dame Dash.
The bad guy.
You know what I'm saying? At the
You
end of
gotta
the
take
day,
you gotta take all the shit for the artist. And then you got a front line for the artist, all the whatever it is. I get you.
you don't want to lie to them. You don't want to get their hopes up. Being
Yeah.
transparent is key. I get that, right? But
Yeah.
people have dynamics in their lives, artists, managers, everybody's going through something. So, and that's the soft skill of it. The hard and narrow is having a contract and having connects.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this before you say I'm a manager, if you don't have connects, I wouldn't do it. 100. Get your
Yeah.
connect. Get your connect. Because the industry is fickle. You know what I'm saying? That people be bullshitting all the time, right? And even though we are more advanced today,
Yeah.
salute the top, right? Even though we are more advanced today, people still have dynamics that they have to overcome in order to get that artist somewhere.
True.
You know what I mean? In order to exploit that talent the way that the artist would like it to go. So there's the artist manager and the business manager.
Okay.
Right? So
What's the difference? What's the difference between the two?
You have to identify the roles, right? Because at the end of the day, and I don't want to speak too far over my head because I'm gonna say I was an unsuccessful music manager. I'm not, but I am at the same time. I tried to get Ab a deal. At that time, it was getting deals, and whatever I tried didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so, but where he ended up did him a solid, and now he is what I tried to get people to see. When people would tell me he's not Jay-Z, he's not Lil Wayne, but he's at, I know he's at, but now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I didn't make that. Ab came in like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was no.
Let me ask you this. Did you see like where he's at today? Like, did you see that happening?
As far as, well, okay, so this is the thing. I introduced Ab to P Rock. My homeboy Big Steve is from Mount Vernon. He's the cousin of Heavy D. So, or he's the cousin, like, in Heavy D and P Rock is cousins, right? And so I told my homeboy, I want you to put Ab on the phone with P Rock. So he shot me the number. We called P Rock. Ab Soul had a conversation with P Rock in the studio, and he started calling himself Soul Brother Number 3. If you track the record, right? But then Ab somehow ended up talking to Pete Rock, and Pete Rock didn't remember the story. But the story is validated because my homeboy Big Steve, that's his family member.
Yeah.
His first fucking cousin. You know what I'm saying? So the story is validated. But this is the thing. Ab, as a solo artist from Carson, California, in LA, when you got Compton in LA as the mecca of music on the West Coast, it's hard for a Carson cat to blow up on the West Coast.
Facts.
Almost like the city of Carson is cursed, right? Now, salute to Ras Kass. We grew up together. We was in a special group together as youngsters. And so Ras Kass is world-renowned rapper, right? His skill was beyond elite as an MC. I mean, if Wu-Tang fuck with you, you know you got bars, right? If the whole Wu-Tang fuck with you, you know you got bars. Bishop Lamont, he used to come through the studio at Judge House, right?
Shout out Bishop, shout out.
Right? Shout out to Bishop Lamont. He was signed to Dre, right? And salute to his art. So that thing about in that era specifically, getting a deal was a little bit difficult for a West Coast artist from Carson, right?
Definitely.
And I'm glad you said that.
And I think, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that was just like, because I remember at that time it was like Compton, Long Beach, South Central.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't even really Watts yet.
Right.
Even though a lot of history do come from Watts, but like from a hip hop standpoint, it was like all the outsiders remember was Long Beach because of Snoop, Compton
Right.
because of Dre, and Easy E. You know what I mean? And the
Right.
South Central because of Ice Cube or whatever. You feel
Right.
me? So like, I remember at a time where like, even when social media first started coming about, if you was in between like those cities, you still have to like try to promote yourself as being attached to one of those. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of artists that just was in LA County, you know what I mean? They would just say Los Angeles. Or I'm from
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles because that's what like people out of towners identify with. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You feel me? They'll be like Carson, what's Carson? Like Hawthorne, what's Hawthorne? What's Torrance? You know what I mean? Like what even at that time, Inglewood wasn't really stamped yet, you know. And I believe
Right.
that happened when Mac 10 came, when he came with Full Life. Then it was just kind of like, oh, you know, he had
Right.
everybody singing saying Inglewood, you know
Right.
what I mean? You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
That whole movement. So let me ask you this, bro. How do you feel about what you see, like what we see in the industry today versus what we see, like as far as like if you wanted to give an artist advice on how to properly promote themselves, since you worked in promotions and
Mm-hmm.
you did the management thing, like you did the street team thing as well, like
Mm-hmm.
how does that, and I have a theory about this as well, you know what I mean? What advice would you give an artist today about getting themselves, pushing themselves out there?
Well, if the artists don't want to actually do it themselves, as far as be part of that push, then it's
Okay.
definitely not going to work. Not today,
Okay.
because because right now, uh, the social media world, you should be managing your own accounts.
Right.
So if you're not on social media, which there's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, right? Um,
Mhm.
if you're not willing to do that work yourself, and you think somebody else is going to do it for you because you hot and you got to write songs and find beats and all that, like you really got to be part of the promotions aspect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and as far as some of the marketing tactics, the marketing aspects, they never change, right?
Mm.
Um, you
Glad you
still
said
need it,
that.
right? You still need that flyer. You
Yeah.
still need that artwork. You still need those photo shoots, and you still need to build relationships. Like that's the
Right.
one thing I took from Irvin Pope, like EP. He was like, learn how to build relationships, right? So I'm not an ass kisser. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
right, you know what I'm saying? But you can still move. You can still move without being an ass kisser. But people gonna want something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So having a strong skill set, like nowadays, most artists can record themselves. They can mix
Mm.
themselves. The more abilities you have in the studio as an artist will make you more impactful long term, right?
Mm.
As you
Right.
start to bubble, right? Because for
Right.
those people that are waiting on it to get done, you're going to be up against people that have other clients that can't get to you when you need in your need.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you need to be more independent. Like the independent hustle from the Easy E and the E40 and the Too Short has evolved,
Oh man, has
right?
it?
Right?
You got to be, I think, to add to what you're saying, and I totally agree. You got to wear so many more different hats these days, and even if you're not doing them like hands on yourself, you still got to have an understanding of those jobs. You know what I mean? To make sure that
Right.
they're being done properly, to make sure that, you know, your work is being serviced. But I agree, man. Like you got to get out there yourself. You got to
Right.
kind of, you got to build those relationships yourself. Like people respect it when they actually see you, they can
Right.
touch you, they can meet you, you know what I mean, have a conversation with you, kind of like feel your vibe, your energy. You feel
Right.
me? So I think that's a very, very key component to what you said, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of that is lost today. Like we think that we could just get on Instagram, make a post, and boom, I did promotion for today.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you know, like, the internet is so oversaturated with information and things constantly changing throughout the day that, you have done yourself a disservice to not go beyond just me posting on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. You feel
Right.
me? And I think that's one of the ways it's changed. You feel me? But didn't change,
Yeah.
because if you out there, you putting up posters, you doing all of that too. You know what I mean? People can remember that. Like those are moments.
Right.
You know what I mean? You never really forget the time you met somebody
Oh
that,
no. No.
you feel me?
Right. I think what's my guy name from Oakland right now? The youngster.
Um,
What's my guy's name from Oakland? Uh,
rapper.
yeah, rapper.
Is it I don't know who, like Mozzie or like I'm not
Mozzie.
sure.
He's new.
I'm,
He's new. Oh my God. What's that
I'm
kid's
not
name?
sure where Mozzie from exactly. Um
I follow him too, but I can't think of his name right now. But there's a youngster, and forgive me because I know who he is. Um, from Oakland, and he said you got to post every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day,
yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
this is the thing, like because there's different, like there's no one way to skin a cat, right?
Right.
And what I admire about TDE is that they went on the road.
Yeah.
So make sure your manager have connects. Make sure you can, and the thing is, like I had this thought in my head, like and
Uh-oh.
the manager looks at the artist in another way. So the
Okay.
artist has an expectation of the manager, right?
Right, right.
But but there's so many to dos for both. So
Mhm.
how many to dos can you complete on your own to help this
Right.
move forward, right?
Right, right.
And so booking shows, like getting shows, booking shows, the artist needs to be in front of an audience, and there needs to be video and camera. Like there's so many needs, right? Now
Man.
everybody's got their phones, shooting video, going straight to Instagram, straight to Twitter.
Yeah.
It's evolved a lot. Just try to build a team as well. Sometimes while building a team, everyone don't have the same goals,
Right, right.
right? So set your goals like within like 3 to 4 months, 0 to 6 months, so we keep everybody on target. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that I admire about Judge, because even though at the time they was doing a lot of recording with Lori, we had a team. It
Yeah.
was a team. The kids in Carson love Judge. They fuck with him hard. They mess with him hard. And so we had a team. We had a production crew. We shot
Yeah.
videos on Ab. I shot a video on that, right? So we were able to do a lot for free, with the hopes that it would do more, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like artists just have to be ready to work. You know,
There it is. You
yeah,
got to be, and whatever that work. The thing about like approaching this business is that you don't really you don't start with a to-do list. You kind of learn what the to-do is list is as you just get active.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
You run into this situation doesn't work the way that you thought. Now you learn, okay, next time I run into a situation like this, I have to do it this way.
right,
You know what I mean? Or you learn, you know, different strategies and ways to, attack this business.
right.
Um, but yeah, man, didn't you, I believe you got into you got into like some acting. I seen some on your page before. You know what I
Oh, well,
mean? Where you was doing like the acting thing and like producing, like you know what I mean. You want to touch on that a little bit?
yeah. So I was Judge and I had a production company, and so I was part of his production company as a partner at the time. And
Okay.
so we did some reality shows. We did some reality shows that I produced, helped produce. We did a play. It was pretty successful. But I'm still a songwriter at heart. I just put out a salsa record with Climax, Joyce Irby of Climax, and
Okay.
so that's doing pretty good right now. And so at the end of the day, I'm a music guy, man. I love production, but it's about connects. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything is about connects, and I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm a hard worker. If you give me a
Would you
task, I'm gonna try to get it done, bro.
would you say that there's any similarities between the music and like the film world?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Like
similarities.
creatively.
There's a lot of similarities. I mean, because you still need somebody to pitch your work, just like pitch your
Okay.
music, you know,
Same process.
right? Almost. I don't want to,
Yeah.
because people have different experiences, so I don't want to downplay either side of it. But it's a hard task to achieve. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it's about connects. It's all about connects. And if there's gatekeepers, it's gonna be hard to get through those gates. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel that.
So what I think the thing that what this kid named LaRussell, there we go. I
Right,
think
right.
the thing that helped
Oh, that's what you was talking about.
exactly
Okay.
the thing that helped catapult LaRussell is that his mind, whatever he learned to do, he did it times 10,
Yeah.
right? And it worked. You know what I'm saying? And he has a community, his family, you know what I'm saying? He built a studio in his backyard. So
Yeah.
this is the thing, if you have support, because a lot of parents support the arts, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a parent that supports your art, I know I'm grown as fuck, but I'm talking about for the artists that are in that age
Yeah.
group, right? If
Yeah.
you have a parent that supports your art, uh, don't be lazy on that. You got to go twice as hard as your parents' support.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because
Right.
it's only gonna last for a short while.
And that's a luxury.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly,
something that everybody gets.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you do have that foundation, you know what I mean, you better ride it till the wheels fall off.
Right. And so the Russell is an example of that. A lot of
Yeah.
people take advantage. A lot of people take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? But what I mean by that is if you have that support, learn how to work the radio, learn how to work that video to do your reels.
Yeah.
Learn how to use some type of app where you could shoot your video if you can't get a music video done. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it go a long way. You know what I'm saying? It goes a long way.
One thing I respect about LaRussell is his business structure.
Right,
You know what I mean? And like his approach to his business and how he goes about, setting himself up for the long haul. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right,
he'll I hear him talk about like, scheduling his posts 3 to 6 months in advance.
right,
You know what I mean? And shooting his content a particular way so that he can stretch his content out longer over
right.
longer periods. You know what I mean? So that you're constantly giving the consumer something different. You know what I mean? And then how that actually sets you up to get active with other things while that's moving and
Right,
rolling out. You know what I
right,
mean? Like if you think about like business in general, let's look at like a Target or like a Walmart. You know what I mean? They have product that comes in, they do inventory, you know what I mean? And then they put the product out on the shelves. When
right.
this sells out, we go to the back, we get more. You know what I mean? We put them back on the shelves. And I feel like music should be managed in that way. You know what I mean? Like I should take me 30 songs should stretch me out 2 years
Right,
if it's done
right,
properly and correctly.
right.
You know what I mean with the content. So it's like um that's one thing that I really respect about his push and his move. You
Yeah,
know, um we got about 8 minutes left. I wanted
Right.
to talk a little bit about Lori Joe.
Okay.
She was a good friend of mine. You know, we cut a lot of records. You feel me? She had a beautiful soul. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like her smile just lit up the rooms. You
Right.
know what I mean? What was one thing that you saw in her talent? And like, I know for me, it was like her willingness to just like work and go get it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, she, you can call her anytime if it's time to work. You know what I mean? She's gonna make sure she's there. You feel me?
Right.
And that's one thing that I respected about her, as far as like, as well as her talent. You know what I mean? And
Right.
her writing abilities. But like, she had the hustle for real, for real.
Yeah.
What was like, what's one thing that you saw in her that you was like, man, like, like, I'm rooting for her. Like, I want her to make it. You know what I mean?
So I was there at the beginning of her recording career experiences, and so she showed up. She showed up to act out what she had written down. She showed up.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? She showed up to act out. Because that started from maybe in her diary. It started from her living room, her bedroom. She showed
Yeah.
up to put it in action, right? In an intentional way. And the way I feel, and I'm gonna say this: if we have a successful Ashanti and we have a successful Khalees, we should have a successful Lori Joe.
Facts.
Timing was not in our favor. You know what I'm saying? And people were too critical of her voice,
Yeah.
and they should not have been. And that's what the thing. If it makes me feel like, and I'm gonna say this: if I had been on, I'm not asking no question. I'm putting money on the
Yeah.
wood, and we doing this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's how I move. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. But people, you know, say as far as what she did on her own when she felt like she had no help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those projects, the videos she put out, her dear good friend Javante. Um,
Hmm. Shout out
we're
Javante.
on a writing team together. Shout out Javante. So, and I'm just saying this in the respect to, let's put something out and let the people decide.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm speaking on. Ashanti, salute to Ashanti, salute to Khalees. But there was somebody that would not take no for an answer,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the people. I mean, the criteria of music, females, is under 18. And if you say, oh, I'm working with this artist right now, the executive going first thing come out of executive mouth is what she look like.
Right. Right.
You feel me?
Yep.
So Lori had everything in her favor as far as that
Everything.
goes,
Yeah.
right? And she had a pen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Everything she had in that book or those books, she came to act them out, bro. It was already written for her what she
Yeah.
wanted. So she was very driven, very you should nobody should have told her no, man. I don't
Yeah.
know whatever aspect or whatever, but I'm just saying like this. It wasn't a silver spoon. She never felt entitled. You feel
Yeah.
me? She wasn't entitled. Her or Ab. They didn't Ab, as far as I'm concerned, Ab just want to be on.
Yeah.
Ab want to be on so he could do his raps, make his money, live his life. He didn't really care about the glamour and glitz. That was not important to him.
Yeah.
Their Lori and Ab wheelhouse was art, 100 art. I want to see it live, because there's no artist that doesn't want to see their art alive, living, and
Right.
doing what we hope it's supposed to do. I'm an artist myself. I
Yeah.
firsthand identified with every interest that Lori had as an artist,
Yeah.
firsthand, and I've had arguments about it. You feel me? I've had
Yeah.
arguments about it. Like, what you telling me you're not gonna put it out? Let the people decide. And then we got
Yeah.
Ashanti singing "Oh Baby," and it's all over the globe. And that, you know what I'm saying? Shout
You
out,
know,
shout out.
somebody.
Go
No,
ahead.
you can finish.
Nah,
You
I
can
mean,
shout out who you gonna shout out.
shout out Ashanti.
Man, what someone told me in the business before, it was like, um, I can't remember who told me this, but they said you either behind or you're ahead. You know what I mean? As an artist creatively, and
Okay.
in most cases, if people don't understand it, it may be because you're ahead.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
And in this business, like people hate to take chances on things that's new. They want to jump on whatever's like this is the formula, this has been working, this is what it's got to be. You know what I mean? When the new thing is really where the magic is, you know? Um but yeah, man, I want to thank you, man, for like coming on the show. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
Telling your
yeah.
story, highlighting certain things within your story. You know what I mean? I believe that it's important. That's why I have, you know, particular type of guests.
Right,
There's people who's been behind the scenes, you know what I mean, that people never even met, never even, they may hear of these people names, things
right,
like that, that can't put a face to it, you feel me, that played like pivotal roles in some, up and coming artists, like careers, feel
right.
me, to a point to where they may not even be where they are today, type things, had they not, because our stories are always being written the way that they're supposed to be written. You feel
Yeah,
me? And just like you spoke on Lori Joe going through her struggles with whoever she was going through her struggles with releasing music and things like that. Those type of things give you the hunger, that you need necessarily to make it, to get to that next level and that next phase. So
right.
everything is important. You know what I mean? I thank you again for coming out, man. Like before we go, um, shout out some let people know where they can find you, your socials, whatever it is you got going now that you want to plug. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Anything you're promoting, whatever. It's your
yeah.
stage.
All right, appreciate that, man. And I have some unfinished stuff. We didn't even like we paused that and then took another another turn. But Selfish Society, I own the trademark. It's a streetwear brand. Um,
Okay.
and so we live in a selfish society. And I feel like if you don't take care of yourself first, there's nobody gonna really look out for you. You know?
That's
And so
facts.
also when you're flying on the plane, you have to cover yourself before you can help somebody else. So
I
I
like
feel like
that.
selfish society. Most of us have lived a selfless life, and the selfish society is basically showing the selfish people who they really are.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I would like to say I've lived a very selfless life. I've helped a lot of people, and I don't even hear from them. Um, my name is Tori Antonio Crowe. I go by Antonio Crowe, and you can find me on Instagram, Antonio Crowe, and then the Selfish Society by Antonio Crowe. And so, yeah, streetwear. Also, I want to shout you out, man, because I met you in the
Thanks,
studio
bro.
with D Russ. I met you in the studio
Yeah.
with D Russ. That's one of my good homeboys, musically and business wise. Uh,
Shout
and,
out.
and you do a lot of your own stuff that I really applaud because you are a good artist, a great artist, and you do your own music, and it's good music, and I expect to see more from you as well, man. So,
Appreciate you, bro.
so
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
So shout out everybody from Carson that I worked with over the years. Carson,
Carson.
yes, yeah. Shout out to Compton. I'm from Compton. And then everybody that I came into contact because I see a lot of people. Like I got a story with Battle Cat. Like
Okay.
it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? And Herb and you know I I'm still a hustler, bro. And that's the end of the day. I work. I got a day job and I do music and I do it to the best of my ability. And basically, I have an artist brain. So I can't. I don't have a top 10, bro. It's like a top 100.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
can't
I
really
feel
do
you.
it. And Ab is in my top 10, bro. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me ask you this before we go.
All right.
Give me your give me your top 5 artists, rap top 5 rappers
Top five, no order.
all time, no order, and
Right.
why?
And why?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, it
Yeah.
don't have to be all of them. Just okay, just your list,
All
your
right.
top 5.
That's fair. Let me see. So I got Ab. Why? Because I heard him. I've heard music from him that he recorded on a computer microphone that is just as good as anything that anybody has ever heard. Period.
Hmm.
And he lived up to it. Like it wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like the songs
right.
he played me from what he did on the computer is really, really who he is today. Right? King T,
Okay,
Dippin', uh, Ice Cube,
okay.
Rakim.
Rakim, okay.
Uh,
Diverse.
right, right. I mean, because the thing is, when Easy and them came out, I was bumping Easy in my headphones, but I was had already been oversaturated with the East
Yeah,
before because I'm 51. So when I discovered hip hop, it was all East Coast. Of course, Compton, we had the Toddy
yeah,
T's, the Mixmaster Spades, we had those records. The we had K Day, Bobby Jimmy, we had that. But
yeah.
when you put on NPMD, you put on all that. So number 5 is Big Daddy Kane.
Kane, okay. That's a pretty nice list.
But I got honorable mentions. Like I got E-Rule. I don't know if you know who E-Rule is.
Who's E-Rule?
E-Rule is from LA. He got one song called The Synopsis.
Okay, I know that record. I know that record. That's what's up.
Bro, that
That's
record
what's
took
up.
like while everybody was fucking with Camp Low, I'm like E-Rule. And because I was in the music business, like I've heard so many records. I've heard
Yeah.
so many demos. To be honest with you, I heard demos. And yeah, so yeah, that's my top 5, bro. But Ab will forever be in my top 5, and it's not because I managed them. It's because I heard his music before everybody heard it from a recorded mic.
Yeah.
Just like they said, Soundwave was producing on the PlayStation. He
Yeah.
lived
I
up
did
to it.
that. I did that too,
Oh,
actually.
word? Okay.
The music generator, that was my first, that was my MP.
Man, well, see, y'all lived up to it. Y'all lived up to it, bro. And that's what's up. That's
That's what's
innovation.
up.
That's what's up,
Yeah.
bro. Because that's innovation right there.
I used to sample in there and all kind of stuff. Like
Oh man, and so
we,
I consider you a genius because that's just like tearing a computer apart and putting it back together again.
damn.
That's the real engineers. Y'all the real engineers. Dudes like you, Soundwave, Warren G. You feel me?
We had to, that for me, like I think that like we had to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I had a little ASR as well. Nothing
Right,
hit like the ASR, them drums. You
right,
feel me? But yeah, like I think that's the difference between today and yesterday is that we had to be creative and like we had to figure out ways to actually do it. And
yeah,
through figuring out, trying to figure out the smallest, simplest thing, you develop all these other skills, and
right,
talents. You know what I mean? Along the way. You know, today you could just pull up an app and just start making a beat.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like you don't have to. You just learn a little bit about the software and then boom, now you got a beat. You feel
Right.
me? But
And
yeah, bro, I
recording.
want to thank and yeah, and make a whole song and put it out.
Right,
All in a
right,
day if you really, really wanted to. You
right.
feel me? We had to go through like the steps of learning. Okay, this don't work. Or I can't do this. These wires go here. This is this. You know what I mean? If I tape this, you feel me? Like it was just so much, different. And
Yeah,
I appreciate those times because it gives me a greater understanding of music and the process today, you
right.
know. But I want to thank you, Tori, man, for taking the time out to be on the show, man. Like I really do appreciate it. You
Sure,
feel
man.
me?
I'm
We're gonna
excited
get
for
that.
you.
Appreciate you, bro. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I'm just trying to do my thing and highlight good people. you know what I
Yeah,
mean, that's done their thing, you feel me? And you definitely fit that bill. So I
yeah.
appreciate you, bro.
I've been in the trenches, bro. This music game, bro, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, uh, it's a long story. So I appreciate even being able to tell it, because a lot of
Yeah,
times I don't just want to go live and be like, you know what I mean. I don't think that's gonna resonate well. I'm gonna look like I'm ranting. You feel me? So
I feel you. I feel you.
so yeah, I thank
But
you for the
yeah,
opportunity.
no problem, bro. We're gonna have to do this again another time too.
For sure, for
I
sure.
want to put together like panels, you know what I mean, when like certain things is going on
Yeah,
in the industry, we could like randomly everybody pull up and we give our takes and things on it, on what's
yeah.
happening. You feel me?
That's what's
Kind
up.
of like the Drake and Kendrick thing and things like that. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
I definitely be in contact for sure, for sure. You
yeah,
feel
man. I
me?
appreciate it.
But
I'm
thanks,
willing.
man.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We'll chop it up offline too.
All right, for sure.
All right. But yeah, man, that was another episode of Off Prairie, man. As you can see, my energy a little low. I'm a little tired. You feel me? But thank you for rocking with your boy. Make sure you like and subscribe, to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share that good thing so I can get that algorithm love. You feel me? I got some more episodes coming, with some very, very interesting people, man. So make sure y'all lock in. Until then.